Hey, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon. We'll get started here in about 30 minutes with Nic Chahine. So, hope you all are having a great day. Let me know in the chat if there are any stocks that you'd really like Nick to take a look at today. We'll be talking about algorithms and how you can actually use those to your advantage. So, I look forward to talking about this, and I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are going to get started here in about 5 minutes. Nick should join us soon. If we haven't met before, hi, my name's Jonathan Mallard, and I work with Benzinga Pro and all of our B2C products here at Benzinga. And today we're going to be talking about trading with the machines. So, what does that mean? Well, a lot of trading takes place with computers, and I'm sure many of you know this already, but you can use these trends to your advantage. And we'll be talking about how Nick identifies those trends in his charts, how you can take advantage of those trends using option spreads and other forms of trading, really regardless of the asset class that you trade. So it should be a great session, and you can follow along. If you don't already have access, you can follow along at pro.benzinga.com. That's where Nick has his options mentorship chat room, and I'll tell you more about that later, but you can follow along in there, check out our charts, our news, our scanners, and it'll be a good time. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Welcome Kingsford from Ghana, West Africa. Welcome Art, Brett, Chris, Greg, John, another John, Lewis, Kevin, two Kevins, Marco, Mylan, Mohammed, two Mohammeds, Nancy, Rajesh. Awesome. And by the way, there are two different chats going right here. So for anyone watching on YouTube, this is live. I see 30 of you in there. For those of you on YouTube, go ahead and smash that like button. Help us to get the word out, and it'll just make it show up on more people's feeds. If you smash that like button, it'll help us out. And if you want to know any time that we go live like this on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and then hit that little bell symbol to get those alerts. So what stocks do you guys want to pay attention to today? What are you trading? Maybe Nick can cover some of those stocks. Are any of you already a part of the options mentorship program, or with Benzinga Pro. I recognize Art. No, you're a part of Benzinga Pro Art. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone out there? Is this mic on? No feedback. Well, I know Kingsford is here. Hey, there's Chris. What's up, Chris? Awesome. Thanks, Marco. All right. Okay. So I'm not just talking to myself in this cool blue room here. That's always good to know. All right. Well, then I will. I'll go make sure that Nick is ready to roll, and I'll see you back here in a couple minutes. Talk to you soon. All right, here we go. Well, yeah, Nick is he's still getting out of his live chat room, so he'll be here with us in just a moment. So I'll just go ahead and get things started here. Well, first of all, who am I? My name is Jonathan Mallard, and I've been with Benzinga for about 5 years here. So I talk with a lot of active traders, help people know how to use our products. We have Benzinga Pro and a bunch of different newsletter products and Inner Circle products, but we're trying to bring you some real education here on YouTube. And Nick has been kind enough to take some time out of his day, and he's been working with Benzinga for 11 years or so now, I believe. Working on his newsletter picks, his option picks, and then more recently with his Inner Circle chat. And then as far as Benzinga Pro, make sure that you follow along with us on Benzinga Pro. You can get a free trial if you haven't been on there yet at pro.benzinga.com. And you'll see that Nic Chahine is in here on Benzinga Pro with his options Inner Circle chat. So what's up, Junior Lewis? I see you're tuning in from Miami. And always good to see people from Benzinga. Hey, Nick, good to see you,
Hey,
sir.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm like running behind on schedule. I don't know why Zoom always insists on opening in full mode, full window mode, and that whacks out my computer completely. It's
Oh,
very
okay.
hard to keep up with where it is.
Maybe I can change that on the settings or something. But hey, Mary. Mary says hi.
Hey, Mary's
Um,
everywhere. You haven't oh, this, I don't know if it's the same Mary, but anyway, if you're the same Mary, thanks for being here. I love it.
awesome. So yeah, it looks like a few people in here already know and love you and Benzinga. So it's always good to get back together. And for anyone who's brand new, I was just telling them that you've been working with Benzinga for quite a few years now. Um, and maybe I'll just let you introduce yourself, and then we'll talk a little bit about algorithms and how those affect the market. Does that sound good?
Yeah. So, okay. I did not come from Wall Street. If you don't know me, I'm an engineer who did a whole bunch of things in between that and trading for a living. I've been trading my entire life. So it's with stocks at one form or another, but now exclusively with options. I shouldn't say that, 99% options. Actually, I shouldn't say that because there's crypto now. So it's like more like 90% options. And so the experience with Benzinga has been great because you guys provide the platform, I provide the content, and together has been working great. That's why we've had the following for so long. The Vegas event was great. I didn't see you there.
I yeah, that's a long story, but
Okay, never mind. So I didn't see Rodrigo
I
either,
I wanted
although
to
I
be
got a
there.
text from him. He must have had a good time. So the event was great. We've just fortified the fact that we're doing good work. So as far as how I'm helping, today was a perfect example. So you know that part of my service, part of the chat room, other than the Benzinga products that you guys are offering as a side, the content is great, but the live trade, which is what I created not too long ago, and I see other people are copying us. What's up with that? I need like a year at least worth of exclusivity before. Anyway, so the idea is to get together with a whole bunch of people. And today we had 270. We've had 320, I think 318 at the most, and try to make sense of the day and make some money. And that was today was perfect. How challenging was today? Yesterday was great. Today was also good, aside from the fact that we opened down, but the trade within the day, it was pretty good. Um, so hopefully I can share what goes on in there to give people the sense of how we do things and if they want to be a part of it. So what are we offering today as far as, are you offering the BZ, the Pro?
Yep. Yeah, so pretty much Benzinga Pro is my baby, my product.
Right.
And yeah, your chat room is in there with all of the other features with Benzinga Pro. So today we've got a 50% off discount good through midnight tonight. I'll tell you guys more about that in a little bit. And if you stick around, there is a special gift for anyone who subscribes
So
today. But
to that, somebody today asked me, how do we make, how, if it was worth it chasing like unusual options activity and whatever. I said, if you have the information yourself firsthand and you're not watching it on TV, it is. I mean, it's a
mm,
viable way. Not because you should chase it, because if other people are going to chase it, and if you know that and you get in first, you ride it and you get out, because the options concept tell you shouldn't chase it unless you're in there before the other slowpokes get in. So how do you do that? You use a Benzinga Pro product, which I believe you have like automatic filters in there. Show me unusual options activity, and I think you can filter it down to whatever you want later,
yeah,
even
and there's
maybe
lots of
maybe by
different
keywords.
types of data, whether some people trade off in news, some people use
Right,
unusual
that's what I'm saying.
options.
This came up today in the discussion. I
Oh,
forgot who it was. I think it was Kilo. Somebody new
hmm.
in the chat room, in the live room, and that discussion came up. And I said, if you have a tool where you can find options activity on your own, not from TV or Twitter,
Right.
then you might have a chance at it. And definitely the Pro product of Benzinga has all of that. My news comes from there. Off hours, it comes from Twitter on my phone. because I haven't spent time. I don't like the phone. So the Twitter thing is on the top. So I don't like to open my phone. But if I'm looking for like, okay, who reported what? I go in, keyword search, boop, pops right to the top. If I'm looking for the on close imbalance, the volume thing at the end of the day, I have a filter. Look for SPY and look for these words, and nothing but that comes up. So you can look back for a whole month if you want. What were they? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we can get more into some of those aspects. I mean, today I just wanted to get your take on basically trends. And there's lots of things there are lots of ways that you can tell where a trend is, but the most obvious that I've seen you present in the past, Nic, is just looking at the charts and seeing what the algorithms are doing.
Okay.
And after watching a few of your sessions, it became really obvious to me. So I thought that could help a lot of people here today, of just seeing how you analyze those trends and what the algorithms might be doing.
I'm going to steal the screen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys should be. Oh, now Zoom jumps over here. Like, what is happening? Okay, and now the chat is over here. All right, so you help me keep an eye on chat. So you are looking at my live windows, which I share every day, all day. I'll show you later some snapshots of what happened today and how much money we made today using what Jonathan was talking about. Somebody says at the end of the day, because we were so accurate today, they said, what do you think we're going to do tomorrow? I don't know. Ask me tomorrow and we'll trade it perfectly. So I have a hunch, but it's not data driven because it's overnight, and overnight things come up like Snapchat. I mean, who'd have thunk, right? Everything was perfect yesterday. Snapchat reports after hours and poops all over the whole market. Not because it's such an important company, because what it did, it reminded everybody that the economy is going to crap and fast because of what? The words from the Federal Reserve, not their actions. The economy will be fine with a couple of rate hikes here and there. The economy will not be fine if that cornhole is dead set on raising regardless of the data. He literally said that. He said he's on cruise control, Powell. He's on cruise control for 2 more hikes and 6 months worth of quantitative tightening as far as balance sheet runoff. That's autopilot. That's what he did in 2018. Guess what happened after that? The market crashed and he was forced to restart the QE. Yep. So don't be surprised. This come December, we have another new QE. I'm not trading as such, but what I'm saying is they need to soften their tone. So they might raise 2 more times. I would bet they would stop after that. I would bet they would start talking now. They would stop this rhetoric, destroying the economy. You know, controlling inflation at all costs is so stupid. They want to destroy the economy in the process. Why is that important to today's topic? You can eliminate that by focusing on trading faster trades that are set up purely on data and not too much fundamentals, and be tactical. Tactical meaning don't invest for the future unless you have a really good buy, but look more for trading opportunities. Like, I think this is going to go from here to here because of this and that. And then what happens after that, we'll deal with it later. So I think staying tactical is better. And also I'm choosing trades that don't need a rally to win. Sometimes I favor, for example, I had an idea yesterday to start nibbling Bitcoin crypto, which is a trade I started in November and is playing out perfectly. So I said, maybe this is time for somebody to engage with Bitcoin to a degree. And the way to do it, if you don't have a Bitcoin account and you don't trust Bitcoin companies, you can use BITO, which is the ETF that actually trades the futures of Bitcoin. So it kind of moves with Bitcoin, right? So I said, you can buy a call or buy it and hope for a rally, or you can sell a put spread below and leave room for error, for more pain. And you don't need a rally. So I would favor that. And I did that, not this. So I didn't buy because I'm already long crypto stuff. And I did sell a put spread just to participate in the trade a little bit. So tactical, be smart about it. So what you guys are looking at is the 5-minute chart for the S&P. If I go to 15, you'll see all the arrows. I deleted most of them because it got busy. But the basic line was, we traded a few runs in early in the day. And then late in the day, I looked at the options, and then I looked at the puts and calls and all of that. And I saw that if I were a market maker, I interpreted the puts and calls and the options that expired today. Did you know that the SPX, which is the S&P index, now expires almost every day? It will expire every day soon. So today there was an expiration. So there was a contract that ended trading today. So I saw a reason to push prices up, but not too far up. And I said the last burst to close the gap, this was the gap for today. So this is how we opened. Catastrophe. Bought the dip in couple of places, shorted a couple of things based on the charts. And then somewhere around here, I said, what if we close the gap? So I said, I would buy a call or a call spread that ends today because the bet is on today. I said, if we get a burst into the gap, I would close it as soon as it hits halfway of the gap. And look how the price action, they got to halfway, they burst a little bit higher. I said, I would not stay long because if we close up there, the market makers would lose money. I thought they needed to come down to here. They went up a little bit higher than where I thought it would go. But the trade was perfect because we were tactical. We followed data. We looked at the algo. So there is data out there available that gives you algo trades, or you can pay for it and it'll give you a line. It'll say, this is what our algo is doing. Or you can try to interpret it yourself. How do you do that? You look at the chart, you look at the options table, you look at some moving averages. For example, you're looking, can anyone determine something on the chart? I don't have many tools. I don't have MACD or anything like that. I do use them. If I double click here, you'll see I do use these, but as secondary weapons, meaning if I want to get confirmation to a trade, like if I see something, it's like, let me check in the internals. These are the internals, RSI, these two, rate of change, ROC. This is something new that Jonathan's coworker told me, hey, do you use Fisher Transform? I was like, no. He goes, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I was like, okay, let me check it out. Literally, this is my first week of looking at it. It sounds like a MACD, which is not my jam, but so far I'm leaving it. I'm giving it a fair shot. I even entered a moving average for it to see if I can use it better than what it is. So I am open to new things. Also, you notice my candles are kind of weird. That's because somebody today in my chat room, one of my own members said, have you used, I forgot the name, Delta volume candles? I said, no. And he gave it to me and I opened it up. It's noisy, but I'm leaving it for a day. Let's see what happens to see if I can use it. Unsupported chart resolution. Okay, that's it, by the way, because I guess it needs 5 minutes. Yeah, 5-minute candles. Okay. So you can use tools to kind of make you guess what the algos are doing, but I'm going to simplify it for you. Here's a 1-minute chart, and this applies to any time frame. This is a technical analysis from a non-technical analysis guy. I'm not from Wall Street to finish what I do. I didn't come up through Wall Street. I didn't know anybody from Wall Street. I met a couple of people that work with Benzinga from Wall Street. A couple of weekends ago, we were invited in Vegas, where I was a speaker, and they were too. So I got to meet them. They speak a little bit different language than I do. I tend to put it in plain, simple English. So in order to make a decision as to what the algo is doing, by the way, what is algo? Here's for me, what is algo? It's anything that's done by a computer programming algorithm. So, which is basically everything on the chart. Isn't that what they say? Most action now is done by computers, 80% or whatever that number is. It's pretty high, right? So they say, oh, algo did this. Of course, that's the given. Tell me when a human says, whoops, stop algos, let's do that instead. That's when is there a platform that gives that? No, but they should, because that's the exception. That's where the interesting thing is. Sorry about the noise. My son, of course, is hacking up a car out there. He fabricates race trucks for a living. So, okay. So the idea is to think like a machine, see if you can trade like a machine. Yes, I haven't started talking options yet. So somebody's saying start from scratch with the options.
And so when you say think like a machine, like I know, at least I think I know what you mean by that. Usually when I
Yeah,
have heard you talk about it, you're looking at lots of times daily charts.
yeah.
And of
But it's
course
the same, Jonathan. I'll explain to you exactly how. And by the way, you have, of course, permission to interrupt me anytime if you need to do something, house cleaning or whatever. So stop me. So think like a machine. I'm going to give you a few examples that we looked at today that would probably illustrate that point. What's with the caps? You're making me not like the comments. Okay, so here is an ascending trend, regardless of what time frame this is. This could be a day, a month, a week. This is today, 1 minute candles, so super fast. But this logic would apply to anywhere, and that's what I use. It's not the only way that you do it. There are, if technical analysis works, and it does because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, they all tell the same story, right? They all should tell the story that is correct, but they all do it different ways. So there's not one better than the other. There's one better than the other for you. For me, I could not make the MACD work for me. I can explain it inside and out. I can't use it. Why? I have no idea. I don't use it. So that Fisher's transform is starting to look like it, but I'm still giving it its advantage. A few things are very intuitive to me. Volume profile, love it. I can see it in my sleep. Levels, absolutely super important, and that comes into play. Trends, that's also important. When they say the trend's your friend, what does that mean? Don't fight the tape. Have you heard that? Don't fight the tape. If you can find out what the tape is doing, you just work with it. Just go inside the tape. Example, this is the tape. If you can draw a channel and the channel is ascending, you can rest assured that the algo, if you program a machine, what are you going to tell the machine? You're going to tell it to buy the dip. So if you rally and you fail, you buy it. 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 So within the channel, the machine's code will be to buy the dip. It wouldn't be looking to buy the dip and short right away before some other things happen. So that's the simple concept. So then within that, you have to look for other things. In this case, I can point out a few things. Buy the dip, okay, but where? There's the question. So first of all, for example, if we can, let's use it from here. They fell from here to here. That was pretty substantial dip. I remember it. I remember how it felt. I remember I was disappointed that they didn't stop here. They tried. So let me see. I think you can see my screens. So the levels matter, but then they came down here. And that level mattered. And I said, okay, fine. They went back to base. I remember my words. This was earlier today. They went back to base. This was a pretty big rally earlier today. That was about 10:30 my time in California. So add 3 hours to it if you're on the East Coast. It was a big burst. And then they consolidated up here, and then another big burst. And then they consolidated, and then they gave both bursts back with only a tiny little stoppage. Is this where Cornhole spoke? Fed Powell spoke or was about to speak? I think he spoke at 12:15, so they sold before he spoke. I'm assuming, I don't know. So then they went back to the base. They gave this tint back and this tint back, and they went back to base. I said under normal circumstances, I would be comfortable with that. So the idea is to find the levels that matter. Now go back to where you came from and you stall, that's okay. Go back to a level that mattered, that's okay. But it's all within the confine of an ascending trend. So far, the machines are still thinking buy the dip. They haven't changed over this period of time. They're still looking for levels to buy. They couldn't do it here. They failed, they did it here. They went back, they stalled at a level that meant before, and then they went back. They were seeking the gap. That's what they were doing all day. That was a giant gap over BS news. Snap. Really? Snap. What is it? $2 compared to all the other companies that brought down with it. The message is what brought down everybody. So this was a gap that needed filling. So that's what they were doing. They were chasing the gap, and we were chasing the gap from the beginning. This was wrong, but so was this. So these two negated each other. That's why look at where they're stalled right here. So now it becomes to finding the levels that are going to hold. And then we ran out of time. But the trend was still alive. So if somebody kept the mindset of not trying to short the day to more pain than was already given to us, somebody did not fight the tape and somebody made money. So we caught at least 2 upside runs that were more than the double. And I'll show you the last run, the people that followed my lead and bought the SPX calls, they bought them for like $1.50, $2, and they went to $10. So if you did one, it cost you 200, you ended up with 1,000. So I'm not going to answer your questions until you bring down your caps. Now it's a fight. Okay, so the idea is to not fight the trend and use it in your favor. So now you have to add to it. But first things first, find the trend. Let's go to another example. I think Apple will give us another example. I'm going to go to 15 minutes. No, 5 minutes. Wait, 15 minutes. Okay. So somebody, this is 50. Boy, this thing is pretty noisy. I'm going to take that out. Okay, this is Apple over the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. You can see that it was falling inside of a channel. Anybody that kept trying to buy the dip kept losing money because they were fighting the trend. Here's a little tip for you. Pick a new moving average. Pick a moving average that is a simple moving average, an exponential moving average. Pick whatever you want. Here, this platform offers one called the smooth moving average, SMMA. Pick it. It defaults to 20 periods. I moved it to 25. You can make it 20. It doesn't matter. So you can see it, right? You can barely see it. So let me change the color. This here is a game changer, really, if you pay attention to it. Okay. So if you look at that line, and if it's slanted down, you can rest assured that every pop will be sold. That's a guarantee. It doesn't fail. Look at it. It doesn't fail. No matter what the time frame is. If I can change it to 1 minute, it'll be the same thing. If you can pick a direction in the line, approaches of it will be bought from ascending and descending. Let's say I picked 1 day. If it's ascending, they're going to buy the dips into it. Going sideways, it's not a factor. Going down, every rally into it will be sold. Guaranteed. Let me see if I can show you the weekly. Look at that on the weekly. Every approach of the line will be bought.
What indicator?
And then the line goes sideways. Like if you learn everything today, anything today, pick that up and use it in your life. This works on any time frame you want. And I mean it. Here's 1 hour time frame. Where is it? It's a descending line. This is why I had it on 25. It's too close, 20.
And SMMA stands for what again?
Smooth moving average.
Smooth moving average.
Right, but it is any moving average. You could have picked up the EMA, the regular MA, whatever. And the idea is, what is this moving average thing? It is the moving average is basically it tries to plot all this noise. Look how noisy that is, right? Tick, 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 tick. Like, let's take out the extended hours. There we go. Whew. Eyes going crazy. So all this up, down, up, down, up, down. The moving average line, simple concept, is what it does is, let's say right here, that point, it looks back 25 because I told it I want 25. It looks back 25 candles, averages them out, places a dot. The next dot will be look back 25, which would be the same 25 as the ones before, minus 1 from the tail end, and additional 1. Average it, put another dot. So what it does, it tells you this is the price action without all the noise. It's averaging out every 20 candles, making it 1. Every 20 candles making it 1, or 25 in my case. So that's why it's a smooth line. What does that purpose will that serve? If you zoom out, you can tell the direction. And you can tell where the average is. So it's only mathematically logical that it fails at that average. So that's why it works. It is insanely reliable. So stupid. I was like, no, it cannot be that easy. Yes, it's that easy. So you can pay for all kinds of tools that measure algos, or you can use some as simple as these. Now, there are tools out there that go much deeper than this, and they give you insight, like price is falling, yet the algos are trying to rally, but the algo number that they give you is an assumption on their part. So it's not foolproof, although accurate. I think what they do is every order of options, they assume it's a buy or a sell, when in reality, every order of options is a buy and a sell. There's a buyer and a seller to every option. But the way the transaction happens, the algo data aggregator, say that fast, makes an assumption that this is a seller's thing, that the seller knows what they're doing versus the buyer knows what they're doing. So they assume that that thing is sold. So they end up with 4 numbers, 2 minuses and 2 pluses. So they assume that a sold put, DTM squeeze is great. They assume a sold put is a plus, it's a bullish thing, and it is. They assume a bought call is a bullish thing. So those are 2 numbers. They add those together. They wash those against the sold call, which is bearish, and a bought put, which is bearish. And if they get a plus number, it's an algo positive number. And if they get a negative number, it's an algo negative number. So they plot that. So if that number is going up and stock price is going down, they issue an alert. There's a divergence, an algo divergence. So you could pay for services like that, but the concept is available to you for free. Well, virtually free, depends on your platform. This is one of them, the moving average. Looking at an options table is another one. I make a living out of reading the options table the last hour of an expiration day. Like tomorrow, join me and you'll see it. At the end of the day, we will look at the options table and I'll tell you, their price should move. The market makers will lose money if they close the market here. I bet you they're going to push it. That happened on the bad day when the IWM fell. Was it 2 days ago? Friday, maybe? I can't remember when. Either was it yesterday or the day? The days are going through pretty quickly. So the IWM was at 172. So I'm not lying. Okay, that day, whatever that day was, 24th. That's yesterday. Okay, so the IWM was, wait, is today Tuesday? Okay, that day, whatever that day is, the IWM was below 172. And I looked at the open interest. There's a contract that expires on Monday for the IWM. So the bets were going to be drawn at the end of the day. So I looked at the open interest and I looked at the volume and the options, and they were like a couple hours to go. I said, there's no way. If I was a market maker, I want price above 175, but not too much higher than 176. They delayed it. They delayed it. They delayed it. They took their time. And then the last 30 minutes, remember how it boof? We had a huge burst in the last 30 minutes. And where did it close? If we go to daily, we'll get that number. Take the lines out. Close 178.2. So they burst at the last minute, got my numbers, and they went a little bit overboard. I thought they would have closed at 176, 176.2. Anyway, same thing happened on Friday. So last minute, so how do you use that? I anticipate the machines are going to push into the close. So I buy a call, and it's instant gratification. Those are, you make your bet, you spend a little money, you make a lot of money, or you lose that money. So I call them lottery tickets because they're that only with much better odds because they're strategic. Like today, I'll give you an example. Early in the day, the stock market fell apart at the open. I said, I'm looking at all of this. I bet you we have a bounce coming from levels and all of that. We took a call position in the SPX, which paid pretty well. I said, okay, I'm out. And that was somewhere up here when the market rallied back. And then I spent most of the rest of the day lining up a second one, even though in between there were a lot of people that posted their bearish positions and they played out, including AbbVie. Somebody was trading AbbVie. Ryan shared an AbbVie trade out of the blue, and it was a good bearish trade for the day. And then somebody mentioned something about crypto. I said, what's the coin? I've never heard of it. I bought them live on my phone. It's like, I've never heard of it. I'm going to buy some. I bought some coins that they mentioned. It was Mana. Anyway, so the opportunity came later in the day when I saw the data that I mentioned about the algos wanting to push up, because I'm looking at the options information that required it. So it's not all in the charts. You go to the options table, even if you don't trade options, and if you just learn the basic few things or join a group that knows what they're doing, you can see that data or help find it and then trade it. So what was the trade late? I said, you can either buy a call or a call spread close to the money, which would cost a lot of money, or you would go up to try to close the gap in the SPX 39, 40, 45, 55, somewhere. So that's 40, 45, and 55. So a lot of people opted for a call spread. I had a $10 call spread, which I booked way fast. I left some money on the table, but it was more than a double for me twice a day. The NASDAQ killed you today. You're not the only one. That was a big surprise, down 3%. What did CNBC say? Stocks shrugged off a bad day because the Dow closed green for the day. Is that what they said? Meanwhile, the giant companies are down 3%. Facebook down 9%. What? On what planet? Anyway, that's a good deal now, by the way, Facebook. So the algos is just basically using algorithmic logic that you usually can program into a machine to do things that are intuitive. First, find the trend. If there is no trend, don't do anything. You don't have an edge. Let me explain. If there is an ascending channel, I can trade the channel. I can get smart at finding ins and outs. Like somebody mentioned the TTM squeeze. If you don't know what that is, that's a pretty good indicator. I can use that. I don't, but I can. So if you know there's a trend and it's discernible, you can trade inside of it. Now, if there isn't a trend, things are going sideways, you're just guessing which way the trend, the thing is going to go. Sometimes the trend is sideways long enough to where you can trade it inside and out. This is a positive trend. You don't try to short. This is a descending trend. You don't try to go long unless you're going long bounce levels. And in this case, it happened so fast, there's no way you could have. So you were looking for buy positions. So find the trend. Here is a period of time for whatever. When was that? May 22nd through May 20th. No, wait. May 18th. Okay, so that was the monthly expiration week. That was hideous. Oh, ouch, that was painful. Okay, so clearly the trend was down. So you could have timed yourself to trade the descending patterns based on whatever you end up using. I will share mine in details for members. And there are a whole bunch of things that I just mentioned, and then some. Options, data, crucial, open interest and such, volume profile, this stuff. Like this stuff tells me that there is no resistance between these two lines. So if the bulls can take out this area, they can cruise through to the next level of toughness. So they can get to 40-20 quickly. But that's a big if. They need to get going. Technical analysis, chart patterns. Like if the bulls can take this out, I know that I can count on air math, 20 points, 22 points from here on out. And then if I look left, that probably will coincide. Look at this, 39.20. I said 20 points will bring me somewhere to here, closer to the gap opening, which then would become a magnet. You take that out, we can calculate another target up there. So you see how it all comes together. First things first, find out who's controlling the action. What does that mean? Find out where the trend is. Is it descending? Is it ascending? Or is it sideways? Then you can revert to how you want to deal with it. How do you want to trade it? So, and plenty of ways to do that.
And
I'll give you my tools.
Would you say that checking multiple time frames is
Oh,
a good
yeah.
idea?
Yeah. So the multiple time frame ideas, I'll show you. Look up here. I have multiple tabs. This is, by the way, the screen that I share all day. I don't know if I mentioned that. My screen is live all day. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And this one I turn into a 49-inch monitor a couple of times a day to find fast trades inside the day. I go to 5-minute charts and it takes me to all the popular tickers. I do 1-minute charts to see if there's any harm. Like this one, I would have traded it today, but I didn't. So, and I also have one that I deploy when I'm like actively trading something pretty fast, and it looks like this. Don't tell anyone. This usually nobody sees. Look at all these alerts today. Okay, this is my active trade screen, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and 5 minutes. If I'm trading something fast and I want to see what happens, I'm watching this fast. And then here I have Bollinger Bands, which I never use, but Bollinger Bands should help you trade better. I'll tell you why. Because look here. This is after hours, so don't look at the data or discern how to trade tomorrow. All right. So if the price is rising and the Bollinger Bands, it's these big wide things are wide, nothing is going to change. Right? There's no change. It's not going to revert and come back lower. So the first things first, they flatten, and then they go sideways, a little up, a little down, and then see how the bands tighten. They go from this wide and they get tighter and tighter and tighter. Okay, now you got energy building. Now something can happen. There could be a change coming. You don't know up or down, but you'd be ready. So if you've been watching a level change, if you've been watching a gap here or a gap there, and you've been waiting for it to happen, you can go walk the dog until you see these things tighten up and then get ready for action. Look at this. You come, you squeeze, and then boom, explosion. Sometimes it's implosion, like here. They squeezed and then they fell down, and now they were squeezing. You can totally see it. And if I change it to 5 minutes, it'll still be the same. If they're wide, don't try to change things. They're going to continue on however they're going. See how wide they are? Yeah. So, and then they squeeze here. So that's important. So have multiple time frames. Good call there, Jonathan. So if somebody say, give me a ticker. Somebody give me a ticker. Yes, I am. TradingView. Give me a ticker.
Here's your chance, y'all. Who's going to be the first?
Oh, shit. SQQQ. I'll go with Tesla. I'll address SQQQ later. S black. What is S black? Okay. All right. Oh, wait. Tesla. See, I was doing this today. I did these today. I was talking about trend today in the chat room for people who have seen me every day for months and months, if not years. I said, expect sellers, expect sellers. I said, sell the rallies. They said, what do you think Tesla is going to do? I was like, I don't know, but if it rallies, you got to sell the rally. Why? And I drew these lines. I said, that's why. They've been selling rallies. Why do you expect them to do something different now? Just sell the rally. Where? I said, if the rally comes, I drew this ahead of time and they started falling and then we ran out of time. So if tomorrow it gets to here, exit. If you got long, exit, even though there's a nice fat gap. Somewhere up here, there's a seller, maybe inside the gap somewhere. So if you ask me, Tesla, and I've never seen Tesla, the first thing I'll do is I'll go to a daily chart. Okay, so I look at it to see what it's like on a daily chart. This is just a regular old daily chart. One candle is 1 day, about a year's worth of data. And then I'll tell you, that's not enough data. Why? Because I can't see what's here. So the first thing I say is look left on the chart. That's what algos do. if you program a machine to look for action, part of the variables would be look left and tell me what happened the last time we were here. So the machine will have to go, oh, okay, check this out. This is a solid floor. And it was resistance before. Where are we? So, and it's been in play for a long time. How long? Since right here, December of 2020. So this is an important spot. But is it a hard line in the sand? It could be, but even if it's not, there's a mess of support below that. So now I know this is not a bottom, maybe, but it's a place to start looking for longs for the short term. So this is a weekly chart. So I went to daily. I needed to look left. The weekly chart will do that. Now we're looking at about 3 or 4 years worth of data. So now I have a better picture. I know where price is. I know it has, what is that, 6 weeks and another month worth of support and 3 weeks worth of fighting before they finally broke out. So I am comfortable knowing there's support below it. And I'll tell you what somebody did today out of this conversation. We had this conversation about Tesla today. But almost 300 people, it's going to come up, guaranteed. So we started discussing how would you catch this falling knife? So how would I catch this falling knife is, first of all, I don't buy calls. The buying calls, first of all, the VIX is 30 or 29 or wherever it closed. Everything you buy is expensive. Let's say tomorrow the VIX collapses down to 10 and you bought calls and Tesla ran 10%. You would lose 1/3, if not 1/2 or more of your calls just from the VIX collapsing. Everything gets a haircut. Calls, puts, everything gets a haircut. This is like, it's like an implosion of premium. So you're saying Tesla is rallying. Why am I not making money? Why am I losing money on my calls? That's because the VIX collapsed. So it's not going to happen. The VIX is not going to 10, but if the VIX drops to 19, you will feel the pain in your calls, even if you nail the rally. So buying calls is super expensive, but it will pay you the fastest if you nail it. So if you have a breakout, you will buy calls. I don't have a breakout line. So I said it has support. I didn't say it has a breakout opportunity. I don't see a line that can breach. So this is where I just switched to 15-minute candles. Can I see something tangible that tells me now is the time to buy it? 5-minute candles. I don't. I see maybe this. If you take out 635, maybe you get to a 639. Maybe. This is better catalyst that gives you the gap. But so how do I trade this? So the conversation went to selling puts. Somebody came up with an idea to sell a put. January was it? I think 250 put. So basically, what they did, they collected $1,400 or $1,700. I can't remember exactly. You can look it up. $1,400 or $1,700 if they promised to buy a $250 share for Tesla, 100 shares. So you would collect the money now. All you have to do is promise you would buy somebody's shares at that price, 250. Stock price, 250. It's 630 now. So you wouldn't lose anything. You would maybe one day wake up owning 100 shares of Tesla at $250, and your break-even point is $14 or $16 below that. I can't remember the number now. Not a bad deal. And somebody pays you today.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go out and sell puts if you don't know what you're doing. So somebody else said, I don't have that kind of money. I can't buy 100 shares. I'm going to sell the credit put spread down there. They collected $200 per contract for that same bet. They only need $800 worth of margin requirement. What is margin requirement? There's no borrowing in options. Options, different word margin than stocks. When you use margin to buy shares of equity, you borrow and you have to pay back and you pay interest and all of that. That's pretty complicated. In options, it's all cash secured. If you have $100,000 account and that trade eats up 8,000 of it, they'll just lock up $8,000 of your 100,000. That's the margin required for you to be able to trade that against your own cash. It's just a word saying, we locked up 8,000 of your account because you have that trade open. You close that trade, we'll release that money.
And You're dropping so many knowledge bombs, Nick. I mean, there's so many different aspects of trading, and we talked about these trends. How do you tell what the algos are doing? I mean, when it comes down to it, on a surface level,
Yeah.
looking at those moving averages on multiple time frames, and then seeing where the trend is going, whether you're drawing channels or
So
looking
yeah.
at the moving average. And just before we dive into this more, I know some people probably allotted like an hour here, although I'll stick around a little bit longer. I want to let everybody know, because who was it? Someone was saying, "Oh, will you mentor me, Nick?" And there's
Yes.
so many different aspects here that you guys know this stuff, but you need someone. Some of you need someone that you can be reminded of these truths on a daily basis. Someone that can point out trades based off of some of that deeper data that you want to get to, those that options open interest, and how you can tell what's going on before the talking heads on CNBC are telling everybody about it. Well, that's what Nick is here for. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. And right now, you guys have the opportunity to get swing trades from Nick, to trade live every day with Nick, just like he showed you on those screens. And all of this is available inside of Benzinga Pro with the options mentorship plan. So you can see right here, Nick was making some comments on the SPX and the VIX, TOL earnings. And if I scroll up here, you'll see that he's giving a lot of analysis on Snap. What happened with Snap, what to do if you're in that. Someone was saying, Nick, I need help fixing some of these trades. And number one, you want to follow someone, build that knowledge before you lose a lot. But then it really does help to bounce ideas off of Nick and figure out what the best strategy is.
Can you scroll down to TOL? I want to see my guess. I can't remember it.
Let's see. You
Earnings
said
guess from Nick shows support through 40, immediate resistance of 45. Wait, stop. But still, up is easier. Stop moving.
sorry.
Up is easier against my gut. That report should be disappointing. So here's me. Somebody asked me, what do you think about the TOL, brother? I said, I don't know. Let's look at the options. Looked at the options and I said, up is easier. This is the after hour. I'll show my screen later when you're done. It's up after hours. I said, my gut says it should drop because the report should be scary, but the data says up is easier. So there you go.
You have it. And up we went. So my point here was, Nick is so knowledgeable and giving of his time. He has a lot more to share with all of you today, and we can take a look at some of these other tickers. But what I want to emphasize here is that you can learn on a daily basis. You can learn by doing. And if I
that video is a trade, and higher up, if you scroll up higher, there's another video inside of that is how to deal with a broken credit put spread. There's a video about Snapchat, and the lesson on calendar and diagonal call calendar and call diagonal. I forgot the exact example. Oh, Verizon. March 3rd or 5th, I suggested to go long Verizon because it paid 5% dividend, and it was in pandemic bottom for no reason, and it was a great stock. So I said, buy some calls. They were $1.27. They're now at $3.67. So if you paid 130, let's round, or $140, you are now holding $340 in your hand. If you sold puts or put spreads, those played out completely. If you did both, you're really long for free. So I sent a video follow-up. What do I do? How do I, quote, lock my profits? And there was a 20-minute, maybe 15 to 20-minute video on different ways. You can book your share, or you book your calls, book your shares, or you can turn it into a spread. And I explained how that would be done and what that would mean, and if that would mean that I'm done being long or what. And I said, okay, you can do as a call diagonal, but I wouldn't do it in this case. And I went on through that. So there is a lot of learning. This was how to get long crypto if you don't want to do crypto accounts, using a very long-term strategy from November with Bitcoin, or crypto, I should say. which
And
is
to answer a couple questions here, John is asking, if I don't trade options, is it still worthwhile to join? Well, John, a lot of the
yes.
aspects that we're talking about today, yeah, that's the short answer is yes. These trends, what the algos are doing, what's going on with the options activity, where's the big money headed? How do market makers interact with the market and decide where they want the price to go? Don't bet against the market makers and the big money. Nic can guide you step by step through all of that. And you're going to need that type of information to be profitable consistently, whether you're trading stocks or options. We used to do some of these webinars with Nic titled How to Win 90% of Your Options Trades. And we kind of
Don't
changed the
buy options.
titles.
Don't buy options.
Exactly. So using we're not really getting deep into like option spreads and deltas, but using simple math, Nic can really guide you to increase your win percentage. And when we say how to win 90% of your option trades, that's not just pie in the sky stuff. You can actually look at a number on an option chain, and then also Nic does a 2 to 2.5 hour charting session every single Sunday morning and gives you all of his charts, all of his notes, and he gives it to you in a spreadsheet right here. And then you can follow along with that session, see what his notes are. And then let's say if you wanted to look at what Baba, someone was asking about Baba earlier. Oh, you just look at Baba and boom, you have Nic's charts. You can look at his analysis on the video, and then you can tune in every day to his live trading room. And if you need additional color on that situation, additional commentary, you just go right into his live trading room where you can ask him questions throughout the entire day. And then lastly, before I get back to this, if you sign up today, we'll give you a free laptop. So that's you get 50% off. So you'll save like $1,600 over the course of the year. You get a free laptop, and I mean it's crazy. I mean it's an amazing opportunity to learn with Nic day in and day out. And he also is giving you swing trades every day. So let's say you work a full-time job like I do. Your account isn't over $25,000, so you're still below PDT. You can earn while you learn. So you can do these swing trades, make money, follow along with Nic. And I really encourage you, go ahead, sign up right now, because we only have 10 of those laptops allotted for today. So yeah, once those are gone, the laptops are gone. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll throw my contact info into the chat.
Yes, let me answer the person that does not do options or does not want to do options. Here's the guarantee that's not in there. I guarantee you will be a better trader after being in our group for a lot of reasons. Not because I'm a genius at trading. I am a pretty good teacher, and I teach simple things that work. It's not complicated. It's consistent. There's a method. You will develop your own, which may be better than mine. There are a few people in the room that are better traders than me because they have more time to dedicate to it. I am dealing with hundreds of people every day. I do trade. I caught 2 runs today, which was one more than I usually am able to get without messing it up. We have dozens of people contributing trades all day, every day, different kinds. So it's not always the trade alert. This is not a trade alert program. I share trade setups, but the benefit is in the learning, and it's all year long. I dare you to find a cheaper program that teaches you as much and has a classroom open for you all day, every day, if you want to pop in. If you want to pop in for 3 minutes, I'm there. You pop in, you say, I traded a stock from somebody else. I'm in trouble. Can you help me? I'll say, let's see the chart. Let's see what we can do. What kind of a position is it? Here's what I would do in my hands. Can I share again?
Yeah, sorry, I was just about to.
That's okay. Yeah. I'm going to share a different platform. Hopefully it comes out okay. I don't think I've ever shared this one before. I'm going to show you something. This is today. So we had 262 people at some point. This guy's name is Ryan, by the way. We have like 3 or 4 Ryans. This is Ryan S, I think. Thank you, Nick. I don't know how I'm going to turn my stitch around prayer. So we were like hanging on to getting our play right. And then fellow Jitster is, if you log in without from your phone, sometimes it doesn't know who you are. And I was like, who is this? So they did a 2 big wins today. This today on the SPX comments that I shared with you. This person right here just shared, can you do a Max Payne video? Because I quickly explained what Max Payne theory is in there. I said, that's a good idea. Remind me if I forget. This may have been today, 265 people. Let me see here. I'm out, SPX, Smokey. I'm out, SPX, bought 3950 calls. That's exactly the scenario I told you about today. Look, the end of the day rally. And I said, right here, I said, I would get out, book your profits. It did this and died right away. And they bought the calls for $2.85. They sold them for $10.10. So do the difference. So if they paid $285 for one contract, they would have gotten $1,010 out of it at the end. If they did 10, multiply by 10. That's just today. Here's another one. When is this? That's also today. Read it, something. Anyway, here's one not from today, May 11th. Just show you it's not a fluke. And I have dozens in between. There's Mary. Are you here, Mary? Hi. 18%. This is what they're looking. I'm watching them. Their comments are here. These are my screens that they're watching. And that was the descent. I said, stop out of below here. Otherwise, you're going to catch this run. We caught the run. And she traded Tesla that based on comments that we've been tracking all day long. Upstart, we nailed the Upstart. I said, I'm buying shares. It was 35, 36. It fell to 29. They jumped in. I jumped in at 35. They jumped in at 29. It ran to 53. So I said, sell calls against your shares, book your profits. I said, I'm keeping mine for the long haul. So we do this stuff all day, every day. And I don't know if you guys said, did you want to do options? Did you want to learn options, or do you have questions about options? We can answer right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so anyone who does have questions about options, I know Christopher is asking, he's saying he holds 7,400 AMC shares and he's waiting for the squeeze. So that's his question. And then just so everybody knows, there's a 7-day money back guarantee on all subscriptions. So that's the deal. If you purchase and you think we smell bad, then we'll give you your money back.
Yeah, that's another thing. So I don't work for Benzinga. I work with Benzinga by choice because I found them in 2011. Don't ask me how, through Twitter. And we clicked. So the one thing that's been constant is the fact that they always give the option to, hey, if you don't like it, you don't have to stick around. We'll give you your money back, no questions asked. So, okay, to whoever is long AMC. Okay, whoever's so to answer that question, how much money in the account? Since I am not a trade alert, you can have 0 in your account and learn to trade. However, the trade setups I share can work in a small account, and they will be much easier in a big account. So if I offer a trade that says sell a put spread, sell a put naked if you want to own shares, I also offer, if I don't want the liability, I would sell a put spread with on the SPX. If I can sell a put spread that require $400 per contract, and it would pay 25% potentially on the risk of one. So if I risk 100, if I risk 400, I can make 100 out of it, and that'll be a credit put spread or a credit call spread or an iron condor.
And Art,
you're not listening, Art. You're not listening. I've been sharing everything algos, and I'm going to prove it to you. Watch the screen and listen. If I don't say the word algo, I'm telling you what goes into the algorithmic programs. So part of it is trend. The main part of it is trend. That's what drives. Do I sell this tick or do I buy it? So you're not listening. So I was addressing the AMC person. So just don't get caught up that the rally in AMC is now the opposite of a rally in AMC. So Wall Street bets are probably shorting it all the way down and not telling you that, and you're left behind thinking it's going to go back to the moon. AMC should be like $3 maybe. Now I'm upsetting half the people. I don't care where it goes. I've traded it high, I've traded it low. You can trade the price action. But here, watch the red line. You see it? You see that red line? Look at it says moving average 15 EMA. I didn't put it there. I don't use this platform for charting. It's horrible for charting. But even this crap chart, I know what the algo is doing. What is the algo doing, Art? They're selling rallies. So every time that sucker goes through that line a little bit, fade it, book your profits, buy it when it hits the support level. So the algorithm is sell the rallies at this high level daily chart. You can replicate that if you go into today's chart and start getting fancy with it. This is not my trading platform, so I don't know how to use it for that purpose. Let's see if I could actually. Let's go to Tesla. No, I definitely can't. Wow, that's ugly intraday charts. Do not get that out of platform for charting, that's for sure. Okay, let me switch charts screens in order to pick the better one to chart. This one. There we go. All right, we're back to the main screen. What are the horizontal lines? These guys right there? Now you're talking. Yes. These are volume bars. So the volume bars down here don't tell you much. They tell you when the trades happened. Don't really care as much about that. I want to know at what price they happened. So if I go to the SPY, which everybody knows. So if I'm looking here, here's the SPY volume profile for this period of time we're looking, which is from 5/23 to today. So a couple of days worth of data. What do I immediately see? I see that the algos were selling rallies into this morning, and now they're buying the drops into a potential hiccup line. So the machine will start looking left, the algos will start looking left, and we'll start saying, whoa, we have the biggest point of volume in the last 2 days coming up ahead of us. Slow the buying. So they will not be eager to burst right through it without a stall. What does that mean, Art? It means when you get to here, you book your profits. You don't start to buy calls. You don't get long a stock. This is where those who are long somewhere here are booking their profits, because now they know there's going to be a wall of sellers just waiting. So the imbalance of buyers to sellers, like the strength that buyers are having, momentum, will stall here, because here is where everybody loves it even more. So there's going to be a traffic jam. So this is the machine. If I was a machine, I'm thinking buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Wait, stop. Let's see what's going on. Tick, 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 tick. And then they see what happened and then react to it. So the code switches from super bullish. I'm not a coder. I'm guessing. I used to code when I was 12. Yes, I'm 54, and I did have a computer when I was 12, and it was color. No hard drive, no RAM, but it was there. It's called a Spectrum, Sinclair Spectrum, ZX81, I think, or something like that. Look it up. It's a pretty cool little tablet like this. Anyway, so the idea is the machine will try to go through the path that's going and play within whatever is going on. It doesn't want to dictate new path. So bulls in charge, you hit a hiccup point, the bulls will back off a little bit, they stall, they dip a little bit. Where do they fall? They fall at a place where the machine looks left, say, whoa, that's where we break out last. Let's find support somewhere here. So they go sideways, they fall a little bit, they find support, they come back. What do they draw? What did we just draw? What did I just say? I just said an inverse head and shoulders of sorts. Let's see. So I would have drawn this, and I said they drop a little bit, they find support, they come back here, boom, pattern done. Now if they get above this line, maybe above this line, you get confirmation. The machine will think, oh, pattern, let's see. Usually we go this big with the pattern, let's go. that becomes the target. Now you can take along against the logic that the machines may follow. Simple as that. Now, if you can't do all of that, wouldn't it be great if you were in a room where somebody points it out all day, every day? Wouldn't it just be freaking awesome? Let's go.
Let's go. And welcome to Mark. Mark just joined the program. So Mark, we'll see you in the chat room. Let me know if you need any help accessing all the content from Nic's program.
Mark, get into the chat room. Say hello. I won't be there. I will be able to pop in a little bit because tonight they let me out. I'm going to the IMAX theater to see Top Gun.
Oh, nice.
I haven't been to the theater in like 2 years, maybe. I don't remember when.
That'll be a good one with Top Gun. That's good for the IMAX.
So we will chat tomorrow, Mark. So look for, first thing you do, Mark, is say hi in the chat room. Somebody will say hi back. Tomorrow morning, look for, I would say 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific. So about half hour before the market opens. Yes, right there. Half hour before the market opens there, I will plop a write-up saying, this is where I see today. I'll probably mention the Fed minutes, which are a no-brainer, and then some charts about the day, and then a link to the live room where you can join me and 300 of my personal friends. And then that's where the fun starts.
Yeah, I just wanted to show. So this right here, this is kind of like our home base in this chat room. And make sure you choose.
I wish if I had my choice, I wish Benzinga would give me a place where I can post these without having them scroll off the screen. But they do scroll off the screen, and then people will have to scroll back up there.
And just so everybody knows, you can search for just Nic's post.
You can search. Yeah.
Maybe it's not exactly what you're looking for, Nic, but you can do at.
I figured that. Yeah.
Chahine. So that way you can just see Nic's posts, so it's easier to find.
That's definitely makes it easier. So maybe you want to only see my post and just say that. Because people in there, they lurk every once in a while. They say, hey, thanks for this. And believe it or not, people that are in there are in the live room, and they sometimes like to chat with me there instead of the live room, even though they can hear my voice in the live room. It's pretty weird, but they do. So the live room is where I'm sharing my screen that you were watching earlier, and where I'm talking like this into a microphone like this one. And I'm there. I promise you, all day, every day for you. I answer every ticker, BABA included. I saw somebody was asking for BABA. I'll do SQQQ. Today, I did the TQQQ for somebody. Okay, so somebody explained that to me. The TQQQ tracks the Qs. Why is it that the TQQQ is inside or at the April 20th level, whereas the QQQ isn't? It's miles away from it. It's not like it's close. It's like 20% above. Let me show you. That's a conundrum. I want to know that. Explain yourself, TQQQ makers. So if I hide this, go TQQ. So the TQQQ is basically, God, it's so hard to say. Let's call them the TQs. This is the NASDAQ ETF on crack. It's a 3x the Qs, right? Look, it's right here right now, which by the way is a pretty bullish opportunity. And this is February 2020 pandemic, right? It's right there. I'll go to the QQQ, which is supposed to tag the TQs should be mirroring the Qs. That's April 2020 right here. We are 18%, 19% higher. How is that possible? And why is that? Could be a bullish thing. I don't know. Same question. Amazon down here already. CRM down here already. Facebook down here already. Apple 40% higher. What? So who's telling the truth? Here's what I say. Don't discount the possibility of new all-time highs this year. Nobody's expecting that, right? What does the market like to do? Screw everybody. So don't discount that. This is weird. So I think that SPX has a target of 3,600. Maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't. If it does, I'll engage long via the Qs or something like that. I don't know what. I'll see. My thinking is the IWM, which is the small cap sector, is already at its breakout from pandemic. I think they filled all the gaps, maybe one tiny little gap here that they haven't filled, but they broke down first right here. That was the beginning of their end, and they corrected the harshest, and now maybe they stabilized the first. So look for the IWM. And here's a clue. Last week, how bad was that, right? What was catching bids? What was catching bids when everything wasn't? Apple was down 5%, and all these big companies were down big 4 and 5%. What was catching bids? Can you name them? SoFi. Things like SoFi, which are hated, absolutely hated these days. They were up big. So if the markets are buying perceived crap, I'm long SoFi, don't get upset. If the market is buying perceived crap, the market is not very scared. So back to arts, how do we trade algos? There's another algo example. Tell me what they're doing when you touch the line. So if you went long SoFi here, you didn't talk to me first. I said I'm long, but I'm long from here. So here is where I would have gotten out, right? We even trade the dollar. I shared the short the dollar note right here. I kid you not. And why? Because I said, if I was a machine, I would look left and I would say, whoa, pandemic. We are crashing into the pandemic. That was when the world was like off its kilter, and that's the maximum they could muster. And we're going into it. And then it started falling with hawkish rhetoric from the Fed. And I was like, that is a lame duck. This should explode from hawkish tones, but they already priced it in and done some. So yesterday we debated, do we book it? It was a double. Today it was 130% up. I said yesterday, I'm going to close the part and let the rest run. So now I own puts that are up 130%, and they're completely paid for by the stuff I booked. Now, what should I expect by what you just learned from me today? What's likely to happen for this ticker? If you're looking at it.
Come on, guys and gals, you know this.
That's fine. Bounce. No, not just, hey, Chris, not necessarily bounce. Find support. It should start finding support somewhere around here for a couple of reasons. One, it's approaching a moving average. So the averages of all of these ticks are starting to come into play. The machines know that. Plus, it's coming up to a level that was fought for. Bounce, fail, boom. And that's about here. So I would think it would start to slow down here somewhere. So but maybe
just to play devil's advocate, it's come down enough. So now the moving average is leveling out. And on the left-hand side, at least on this time frame, the volume profile is looking pretty thin here. So how does that play into it at all?
Oh yeah, it does. In fact, thank you. Wow, high five. Check this out. Okay, so why would I not want to go long if it's going to find support? Because then what will machines do on the bounce? I think they'll sell it. Because now they have scars. They have a huge volume that they will have to burst through on what? What news? The Fed has already told us they're going to be, yes, Mary, the Fed told us they're going to be nasty as can be. So all the hawkish news is out. So what's going to bring it above that, right? Look at this. You like this? So there's going to be sellers lurking. That will be my term in here. There's going to be sellers lurking. So somewhere here, there's going to be sellers. Where? I don't know. So put it here, let it bounce. If it bounces up here, it's going to come back down. Then what happens? Then you get the inverse cup and handle effect to take it to the next level lower. So there's going to be a bounce. What happens to the resistance? If they come back to here and set a higher low and continue on this higher low trend, will this just go like this? Or will it bend and then they lose this neckline after bouncing and then they come down to 26.8? Now, this is small increments because it's currency. That is, I promise you, those are massive currency moves, like massive. So, and this drop made the stock market stabilize faster than it would have. Did you hear something about the US dollar against the Chinese yuan? That if you chart it, if you see a spike in it, the stock market is diving. It's not something that is on all the time, but now these days, for some reason, the markets are selling off when the US dollar strengthening against the yuan. And that's a problem because China is in full-blown QE now because they're trying to offset their own lockdowns that they did recently. So they're QE, we're QT, the dollar is going this way, the yuan is going that way. Soon this will end.
There you have it, folks. So yeah, this right here, this is, I'm going to clip this out. This is a nice little case study on a trend reversal potentially.
Well, right? You want to see if the machines, if the algos switch code to selling rallies. So I call this optics mode. You want to see if it is sell the pop. So if there is a pop, are they going to sell it? And if they're going to repeat it, and if they're going to repeat it to bring it down to here. So if I stayed short, I would be out here maybe. That's a good clump of support. I would definitely be out here. Look at that support.
Yeah.
So, but this is where you see, will the pops be sold and will they repeat the selling? So then the algos are going to start to build a descending channel. So we just did a whole strategy of how I would deal with a winning, how do I handle a winning trade? So yesterday we debated it. It was spoken about maybe 5-10 minutes, just that. And I finally said, you know what? I'm just going to close a little bit because this is the kind of ticker that you can't sell puts against what you own because there's not that much. And so it wouldn't make sense. So I was like, the easiest thing is just to take off a few contracts to pay for the whole deal. And then the whole deal will just run free.
And to Michael, thanks for tuning in, Michael, on YouTube chat. Shoot me an email or give me a call, Michael. Let's talk about the best solution for you. Someone with a lot of shares at Tesla, new to options. We're here for you no matter where you're at.
What did he say? Did he say he has a lot of shares with Tesla?
Yeah. He's got 155
so here's Michael. Is it Michael? Yes. Michael, one of the principals of Benzinga, if not the at the time, came in on one of these presentations one time. He goes, Nick, what do I do with my Tesla shares? I said, what do you mean? He goes, I have Tesla shares. What do I do with them? I said, I would sell covered calls. And he said, which ones? I was like, the ones that you can live up to. And I just picked one. And he came back like 3 weeks later on another presentation. He jumps into the chair. It was Luke. Luke gets up. He sits down. And he says, thanks for making me whatever the number was, $2,400 or whatever, in 3 weeks out of thin air, just because he owned Tesla shares. So if I had Tesla shares, I'd be selling calls every week. Every week. Of course, I would never sell a covered call unless I was willing and able to actually honor it. Otherwise, it just creates all kinds of problems.
Yeah. So, I mean, what it comes down to is if you're not sure what the best fit is for you, just reach out to me. My contact info is right there, and we'll figure out the best solution. Madge asking, generally, how many days do you go out when you're buying call options in terms of an expiration date?
So I don't like to buy anything. And if I'm buying something, it's for strategic. I get in here, I get out here. So I'll give you an idea. I am holding Palantir calls. They're in the money. They're out in time. I think they're August or September. I can't remember. Similar scenario with SoFi. When I buy something, it's because I want to sell something against it. I'm not a fan of buying anything, especially when the VIX is 30 or whatever. I said that earlier, I may have missed it. So these companies I would buy. So I was long Zoom into the earnings. That was another lesson we did. Into the earnings, I looked at the options. I thought up would be better. And they said, how do you want to trade it? Somebody in the chat room said, I'm long Zoom 6-3 calls or 6-3 $100 calls. Okay. And the cost for that was $600. I said, I wouldn't do that, although that he was long from before, so he had profits in his pocket. I said, if I was doing Zoom, I would do what I did with Roku. I did a video on Roku about 15 minutes long. It was a lesson on how to do call diagonals, and it was 60 cents, 65 cents. It doubled the next day, even though the call we bought lost money because we played the implied volatility. So I looked into the algo decision and I thought that up would be better. So I did a call diagonal, which I repeated with Zoom. I did the opposite with Zillow on earnings, and that doubled. So we didn't win on the puts we bought for Zillow. We didn't win on the calls we bought for Roku. We didn't win on the calls we bought for Zoom, but all three trades were doubles. In fact, Zoom was even more than a double. I'll tell you how. You cheat the system. You look at the implied volatility. I said, I would kick you out of my room if you buy naked calls or puts for Zoom for this week. You would have paid triple what the going rate usually would be. So if you bought a call and you nailed it, you would have lost more than half your money just from the open tick, regardless of which way it went. Whatever you paid is going to get a haircut right away because the stock opened and the event is gone. The implied volatility gets smacked on its head. So what we did, I suggested to go out 2 weeks and buy a call and sell a call that is this week. It cost me $100, $107 for one call. And at the open, it was worth $2.50, the whole trade, because the one I sold collapsed. The one I bought died a little bit, but nowhere near the collapse the other one did. So in net, I made money because of the implied volatility. I didn't care which way the stock went. I knew I was going to make money off of it.
And for those of you who are like, what the heck is implied volatility? You'll learn. This is the whole program with Nic is very much hands-on learning. So, and we have supplemental videos to teach you about these little concepts about like, what is a spread? How do I close a trade? All that stuff in our help site on Benzinga Pro. And I do want to say welcome to, let's see, we had like 5 other people. Well, we had 5 other people join. So welcome. I don't think that's actually their name, but
who is that?
Machito, Mike, and then welcome. Let's see, I have to scroll up here. Welcome, Brian. Glad to have you on board. So Definitely. It looks like there's only 3 laptops left. So if you want that laptop, get in on that deal right now. And remember, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. So yeah.
please, if you join, please don't walk in and the first thing you say, where are the trades? You'd be missing the point. The point is for you to become a strong trader and a strong investor with confidence. So you can take a trade and not cross your fingers that things are going to work out because you have a plan or somebody else's plan that you can adopt. And pretty much after a while, it's the same words that come out of my mouth. I'm very repetitive. Every video I make, like today, I shared a trade in a video. In it, I regurgitated what it means to sell a put, what it means to sell a put spread, what it means to buy a call, why I wouldn't do it, what it means to buy a call spread, why I could do it, what it means that I could do both together, and which one I would do and how I would stop out. The process is the same. Here it is. Write it down. First of all, tip of the day. Please learn this acronym. Look, I type it so much that I made it a mechanical thing. Watch, look. Right? NTNT, no trigger, no trade. What does that mean? If you don't have a specific reason to take a trade, don't take it. What does that mean? If you come to me and say, I have a call option, or I own shares and I'm down 40%. And my first question is, why did you take it? I'm not picking on you. It's really, I want to know, why did you take it? And if you can't tell me why are you in it? That's your answer right there. You should leave it. Or do homework to see if you can find a reason, remember the reason why you took it. So the no trigger, no trade. And then here's another one. During this high, by the way, this is how you know you need to leave a trade. Let's say you took a trade because of earnings and the earnings didn't show up, or the earnings came and went and the bids didn't show up on the stock. Why are you still in it? If you took a position because you thought that Lucid was going to come up with some sort of a new financial strategy, they're going to open up a Germany showroom floor or even a factory. Is that a real thing? Did I just make that up? I don't know. And you get into the stock and a month late, the headline is not coming up saying, you know what, I don't think it's going to happen. Whoever told me that was wrong. Then you should get out of the trade. Even if it rallies afterwards, at least you have a reason to get in and out. Now, second most important thing when you take a trade is, that's what algos do, by the way. They don't go in and stay in until they die. They go in and they have a plan. If I get X profit, I'm out. If I get this loss, I'm out. Or if the price goes below this level, I'm out. Or if the price reaches this target, I'm out. So if you know futures traders, they're perfect machines for that. Well, good ones are. I have 3 friends that are insanely good future traders. I mean, my gosh, they're unbelievable. They hang out all day in a room, in a virtual room like this. They're gabbing it up, laughing it up. They've been doing it for 30 years. They go quiet for like 2-3 minutes at a time, maybe 2-3 times a day. I'm going skiing. They're done. So what do? How do they succeed? Every trade they take, the order has 4 things in it. Those are the 4 things I just told you. Get me in at this price. Get me out if I lose this much. Get me out half if I get to here. Let the other half run from here to here and then get me out completely. So they go in knowing they're in and out, everything. So they either lose a little bit or they make their run. And they have a system to trigger. So no trigger, no trade. Have a system. Have a reason. And have a reason could be technical from the chart like this, or a reason can be fundamental, like, okay, the dollar should fall because A, B, C, D. So have a reason. So the other thing, which is a special case for these days, you should practice your ABCs. I made up this acronym. You could have fudged it up any which way you want, but it works. Saves my ass every day. So ABCs, what does that mean? When the VIX is this high, you can't bank on anything. So yesterday we had a relief rally. Before the market opened, I had big letters, maybe bolded and underlined, I don't remember. I said, if we get a rally, I want to sell the rallies. Why? Because the algos, the machines, that's what I said, the machines, I didn't use the word algos, I hate that word. The machines are selling rallies, so should I. So when you see a rally, if you're looking to buy into it, you're doing the wrong thing. You're being a human. The machines are selling you that and you're losing money. So sell the rallies until the pattern changes. Like here, the short might change, but for now they might be selling rallies. So you have to see it and then act according. So add insurance. When you get a rally, if you'd wished you had insurance the day before when you were losing money, when you get a rally, you should look to buy that insurance you so needed, okay? Also, you book profits faster than normal. Today, I did it twice. I left money on the table both times, not a lot. Usually I leave a lot, but that's fine. So when I have a quadruple, if I could have had a quintuple, that's okay. So book profits faster than normal because things are, why? The VIX is 30, which means every day we should see plus or minus 3 to 5 points moves, like a plus 2% turn into a minus 3%. That's normal. It's crazy, but it's normal. The VIX is high. If that doesn't happen, something's going on. And close problem trades. I'll give you an example that happened today. I was so proud. Somebody in the room was in that SPX call that I suggested. It was red for a little bit. And then out of nowhere, we got a burst. And his trade went to even, maybe slightly green. He said, I'm out. I'm doing my C out of the ABCs. He closed the problem trade. He missed out on a little bit of rally, but he did the right thing. So these ABCs, should be in your mind, which really should stop you from doing one thing. Don't chase rallies late. Okay. Don't chase rallies late. So trade with purpose. And if you're in a group like mine, find a group that you like. If you don't like me, that's fine. That's fine. Like I'm pretty sure Art's not going to join. So if you're in a group, we help people stay out of trouble. So all day, my goal is, this is not a good time to get long. This is not a good time to get short, all day. If somebody says, what do you think about this? I'll chart it. What do you think about that? I'll chart it. And by the way, the conversation is not all about fast trades. I'm there. You have me as a captive audience. If you ask me about a longer trade, guess what I'm doing? I'm answering. I'm not going to say, no, go away. I have, I don't know, maybe 700 people in the chat room that are not in the live room. At least 700 people every day I'm talking to. And 300 of them are live watching my screens. The rest are in you saw the platform. It's like not quite Discord, but it's captive audience like Discord, less noise than Discord. But so you have the option to hang out in the static chat room and still talk to me all day, every day, or talk to me literally live all day, every day while the market is open. So that's it. That's my spiel. I promise you, you will be a better trader when you leave. And I promise you will find value. And if you don't, Benzinga will promise you your money back, because I would have failed in showing you where that stuff is. I promise you. What is my magic for booking profits faster than normal? It takes practice, Nancy. I swear to you, it's and booking losses. Booking losses early is an art. You have to practice. Hopefully you won't get to do it often, but people are crippled when, is that a, yeah, I'll use it. People are hesitant to book a loss when they should, and then they watch it. Oh, maybe it'll turn, maybe it'll turn, maybe it'll turn, and then it's 90% down. But if you book it, if you get over the hurdle of, hey, I need to book a loss, it happens. It happens. You're going to lose. And booking a profit too soon, if you can't see a stock run without you, it means you haven't had enough experience. So what's my secret? My secret is to have a voice in the back of your head that says, get out. And here's the wisdom, words of wisdom, Nancy. Doing the right thing is almost a guarantee that in hindsight is not the perfect thing. Like today, I closed my calls earlier. I missed out on the perfect exit. But if I aim to be perfect, I'm going to overstay my welcome one day, especially in this day and environment. You saw how fast the things turn. Today, somewhere in the middle of the day, something weird happened with the VIX complex. So you've heard of the VIX, the fear index, right? This is what the CBOE puts out as the level of fear in the market. Normally, I think the average is like 18, 19. It's up closer to 30. That's unusual. This is the highest persistently high VIX I've ever seen. That's crazy that we're up here. I mean, it's been to 90 before, but look how long it's sustained this high. Means people have a lot of unanswered questions. But here's what happened today. This is 5-minute candle today. I forget what time. We'll find it. Look at how the VIX is. I want to keep you in mind. There's this, and there's the VIX futures, which is /VX. I won't show it here. This platform doesn't show it well. But there's the VXX, which tracks the VIX futures. Watch what happened to the VXX today. It collapsed with the stock market for like a minute. I was like, what is happening here? I think here or here, this one right there, the S&P fell with it. Wait, we'll find it. Sometimes I pointed out live, but it's important to know that there's something going on weird in the VIX complex. This should move with the VIX. Sometimes a little bit faster, sometimes a little bit slower. But today, this one crashed out of nowhere. The stock market dropped like 2 points. And the VIX, the real VIX, went straight up. So that was really odd, really odd. I'm trying to find it here. Gosh darn it, maybe this. Let's mark it. Let's put our hands here. That it was 1204, SPY. No, so let's see, 1204. No. Yes, I think this drop right there. This matches it up, 1204. I don't know. It was very bizarre. So what I'm saying is, we don't know everything. Leave room for error. Don't assume, your conviction is high. Whatever trade you think you want to take, knock yourself down a notch with your conviction. Do I think you still have Tesla stock? I don't know. What price did you enter at, Connie? You're welcome, Nancy. 924. Let's go see if you did the wrong thing. Did you buy it on the way down or on the way up? On the way down. So somewhere around here. I want to say April. Yep. Okay. So let's revisit. Who was it? Connie. Let's revisit Connie's scenario. So she's stuck in Tesla at 924, somewhere around here. She bought it on the way down. She didn't do wrong because as soon as after she bought it, it found footing. Mind you, that's a big drop, like $30 there. But normally when stocks rally, they give back about half, and she bought it about half. So that wasn't a bad entry point. And then she didn't do C. It fell to here, it fell to here, and then it gave you the opportunity to get out with a profit, with a $25 profit. You didn't do B, book your profit, or C, close your loser in a high VIX environment. So if you were in my group, I would have been in your ear every day. Don't forget your ABCs. Don't forget your ABCs. So that is hindsight. When I'm in trouble with a trade and then I'm given a gift and I come back from being in the hole $100, $102 to being up $50 in 5 days, I would have said, thank you, gods of stocks, I'm out. Also, you would have probably seen the moving average coming up. So you would have thought, oh, machines are going to start selling it. Now to answer your question, I think Tesla is a fantastic company. I think it will rally if the markets stabilize. I think there are extra things going on with the market right now that are pushing it down as well. So it will hit a floor. It does have support right here. So you have a chance at holding right here and a chance at holding lower. So how can I get back to even with this? First, I don't add to my problem, okay? If you don't need the money right now, I would sit in it to see what happens. If you want to protect further downside, I guess I can buy a debit put spread, if you know what that is, not puts. Those are super expensive. A debit put spread, I can spend $300 to potentially get me $700 if it continues crashing. If not, I'm risking $300 temporarily, which I can recover some of them if it stabilizes. Now, there is a strategy, I will mention it, but I don't want you to go doing it because it's pretty complicated. Using options to double down with no money out of pocket. So if I own, you own 100 shares, you want to say? You don't have to say. Okay, you can't do that then. Anyway, there is a way to double down if you own 100 shares of a stock with no money out of pocket. You buy a call, you sell 2 calls, and your last call that you have is your shares, and you end up making a call calendar. Don't do it without knowing the inside and out. The idea is you make a call calendar, call butterfly, sorry, not calendar, call butterfly, where the last leg of the butterfly are actual shares that you own, but you can't do it since you have 70. That's pretty fantastic. High five. I met a 12-year-old that had, I forgot how many shares he told me at the convention. He walked up to me, he goes, I liked your speech. I have these positions. What do you think? And I was like, you're like 10 years old. And he rambled off his position, and it was a big position in Tesla. I'm like, man, okay, that's pretty impressive. So Tesla, will you make your money back? I think if the stock market survives, stabilizes, there's a good chance you're going to recover a lot of it, if not make new highs. So they are selling rallies, right? So here's a rally, they sold it. Here's a rally, they sold it. I think we get another rally. So if that second rally gets you out of trouble, book it, at least some of it, because you're clearly broken up about it. There is another way to sell a covered call. Now, it is horrible to sell a covered call after the fact, but let me see if I can Mark, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Sounds like we're going to have a conversation. Let me see if I can. I'm looking at another window where you guys can't see where we were just at. So real quick, December Tesla. You said 925, right? Okay. What if I tell you somebody will pay you $2,600 today for you to promise that you would sell your shares in December at 1070? I just picked a number randomly. There's a 20% chance thereabout that it will be there this year, at least statistically speaking. But meanwhile, if it doesn't, you get paid $2,600. So if you just, but you can't do that. You have 70 shares. Never mind. But anyway, that would have been a way to mitigate some risk there. Okay, never mind. So Mark, we'll talk about your Tesla shares. There is a way. Don't give up hope. Just don't add. Don't add. I don't like doubling down, because the only time I can add is if I initially decided to, let's say Connie only wanted 70 shares and she bought all 70. Connie should not add to that risk, because she then you would be increasing your problem without any new information. So the only time I add is when I initially took 70 because I wanted 140 or 100. Then maybe I'll add some later. This way I'm averaging into a full-size position, not averaging down. Big difference. 1,000 shares of Ford. Yes. Covered calls. What else do you need? you can't make different money. No. Either usually the way I create income from shares, either selling covered calls of shares I already own or selling puts to own shares at a certain level. New trader, do you teach trading from the group up? Montana, do I teach trading? It's all about teaching. So if you want to learn something that I know how to do, I'm going to teach it to you.
And they might have not been here when I was talking about the beginner videos as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we do have that video library.
You're welcome, Connie.
And then it's all about learning by doing. So it's one thing just to watch a bunch of videos. You can watch videos all day, but then with Nic's charting session that he does at 10 a.m. Eastern every Sunday from like 10 to noon, you have literally over 100 charts every week that you can copy yourself. And then just by copying all those charts, or as many as you want to, you can learn how to recognize those support and resistance levels, those trends. So it's a great way to learn from the ground up.
Definitely. Jonathan, I'm running low on time. I have like 3 things I need to do before I have to leave. My strategy, please. What do you mean, my strategy? I've been talking about the whole thing. Like everything I shared today is my strategy.
So yeah, Tumelo,
I put you, Tumelo, I put you on the right path. I showed you what things you need to learn. You either come with me and I'll show you the rest of it detail by detail, or you got enough to do as much work as I did to learn all this stuff. And you learn it once and you apply it for a lifetime. The advantage of doing it in my group is you literally have 300 people every day chatting, and it's not a noisy room, I promise. I'm only the one that talks. Everybody can contribute typing, maybe a couple of dozen type, and the rest just at the end of the day. Thanks, Nic. I was like, oh, you've been here the whole time. So it is, if you're disappointed, if you don't see value, I'd be shocked. But luckily, Benzinga gives you your money back. Will we see a bounce tomorrow? Mary, I don't know. I don't know what another turd going to come out between today and tomorrow. I think tomorrow the market should be a little bit tepid, because going into the Fed minutes, even though it is not an event, these are accounts of the actions that happened 3 weeks ago. But the market seems to be, hey, what did they have for lunch? They want to know if somebody had mustard on their sandwich, I guess, or something.
And yeah, I know you got to run here, Nic, but let's say I don't want to mispronounce the name. Uh, Madhu Sudan, yes. Or Montana, yes. Nick does trade crypto. You'll hear him talk about crypto.
I bought crypto live today. Somebody told me about a coin I have never heard of. I was like, okay, I'll buy it. It was a metaverse coin. I have one loser metaverse coin that I kind of bought for a joke, but this one seemed a little bit technically mana. Um, I barely read it, but technically it could have a bounce. It's falling into a prior huge bounce. So I was like, okay, I'll bite. I'm up 2 cents. I'm a millionaire.
um, and so yeah, for Tito, as far as the SPX credit spreads, for all of those tickers that we didn't get to, join the room. You'll be able to request tickers for Nick to review every single week, or really every single day. You can ask him
Every
about
minute of
specific
every day. And
companies.
if you miss me during the week, you have the opportunity to do it twice on Sunday. Friday night, I'll give you a form where you can send in your tickers. And Saturday, I do my homework. I put them on the table, organized alphabetically, broken up into 3 different videos I've been doing lately, 2 or 3, and links and comments. The links will pop up a chart automatically from inside Google Sheets, which is available to everyone from everywhere, and a whole bunch of videos on Sunday with the live webinar session, which you're welcome to attend.
Absolutely. Well, I'll stick around for a couple minutes to answer any additional questions. But Nick, thanks for sharing all of your wisdom about trends. About, we covered so many topics today. I'll have to go back and chop up this video for some little clips. But thank you again, and we'll see you in the chat room tomorrow.
Excellent. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and type a 1 in the chat if you liked today's session with Nic Chahine. Hopefully you did. And it looks like we do have 2 more laptops left. So you have until midnight tonight to take advantage of that deal. Awesome. Chris, Tamello, Connie, glad you're all here. Mitch, fantastic. And so, yeah, as you can see here, I have this spreadsheet with all of these different companies that Nick covered, and you can request for him to cover any company that you choose. Every single weekend, he gives you that that form inside of the chat room. He gives you a link to a form where you can request specific tickers for him to cover every single week. And I am posting the link for the deal one more time in the chat rooms here. That's going to save you 50% off of the whole year. Normally it costs almost $3,400, and you can get it for under $1,700 for the whole year. And you get a lifetime worth of education there. All of the charting, being able to ask him on a daily basis, live trading with Nick, actually seeing his charts on video. People are always asking, is it just a chat room, or do you also see his trades on video? And the answer is yes, you do see his live trades on video, and you click into the meeting link, and then it takes you to the streaming service where he's sharing his trades on video there. And then every day, you're going to log into Benzinga Pro. That's kind of your home base. And then he gives his daily trade update, link to the live session, charts on ETFs and futures, and then additional swing trades and bonus videos throughout the day. So whether you're a beginner, that's totally cool. He can teach you how to trade from the ground up, and you can learn by doing. If you're more experienced, you can learn additional ways to structure your trades, whether that's selling covered calls, diagonal spreads, calendar spreads, iron condors. And he'll teach you the correct situations in the market where that's appropriate. So depending on the volatility, depending on the trends, depending on the options activity, so you'll get to learn over time, bit by bit, piece by piece, how to trade all of this for yourself. Awesome. I see, let's see here. let's see. I see Jerry. Welcome. Welcome to the program. I see Petite. Welcome. I see, let's see who else is in here. Charles, Gary, Ryan. Well, so happy to have all of you as a part of the Benzinga Pro family, and we'll see you in the chat room tomorrow. 80, is this sign up different from Matt's options subscription? So yeah, Benzinga Pro at Benzinga has a bunch of different analysts. Um, Nick is the only one that is actually well, I guess Nick and Anne Marie are inside of Benzinga Pro, but Matt Maley's program is outside of Benzinga Pro. If you have any questions about any of the different programs, maybe you saw a different webinar, maybe you already have a different product, just shoot me an email and I can hash out all of the details. But basically, it's this chat room, Benzinga Options Mentorship, inside of Benzinga Pro. It's the Options Mentorship Program. And then you also get all of these other tools that are included with Benzinga Pro. So you have the news feed, you've got a scanner in real time, you can do all your charting here inside of Benzinga Pro. So all of that is included with the Options Mentorship subscription. And Madhu Sudan, that laptop deal that I mentioned, if you purchase with this link right now, I think we still have one left. You'll get a free laptop with your subscription. So not only is it 50% off, but we'll give you a gift of a free laptop as long as you're inside. Actually, I think we ship internationally now as well. It used to only be United States. But if you purchase that for the whole year, you will get a free laptop so that hopefully there's nothing holding you back from trading, from using Benzinga Pro, from accessing your brokerage account, or if you don't need a laptop, you can just give it to a friend. Awesome. Texas, perfect. That works perfectly. So yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. You can email me or call me. I'll post that one more time here into both of these chats. I'm here for you. And what I forgot to mention earlier is, Michael was saying, wow, that response was really quick. We're always going to give you world-class service here at Benzinga Pro. So if you click on the blue circle in the bottom right corner, you can always access our team and we'll respond to you quickly, or you can just give us a call. So if you're a paid subscriber, we also have phone support for any of your questions. And then, of course, if you have the chat room with Nick, then you can ask him questions throughout the entire day. All right, everyone. Don't miss out. Take advantage of that deal before midnight tonight. And I look forward to talking soon. Any last minute questions before we call it for today? I'll probably just leave this up here. Nancy, I see you there. Would it be possible to switch from your current course? Yeah, definitely give me a call, Nancy. If you've got some other program, we can figure out the best path forward. Just give me a call, and I look forward to talking to you soon. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.